Is the legendary Hemi actually a liability once you hit 100,000 miles? Today, we're putting the 6.4 liter Hemi against the 6.6 liter L8T. We aren't looking at the brochures. We're looking at the mechanical guts to see which one is the true anvil and which one is just a high-speed tractor. 5 rounds, 1 winner. Let's look at the scorecard. Round 1, the foundation. Both are cast iron blocks, but don't confuse this Hemi with a car engine. This is the BGE, big gas engine block. Look at the geometry. The L8T uses a longer 3.86-inch stroke to prioritize low-end grunt, while the Hemi chases high RPM power with a shorter 3.72-inch stroke. Most importantly, GM does it without turning off half your cylinders to save a thimble of gas. The Hemi still relies on MDS. Personally, I like to keep my 1, 4, 6, and 7 cylinders firing at all times. GM takes round 1. Simplicity is king in the garage. L8T 1, Hemi 0. Round 2, the tune-up. The Hemi uses 2 spark plugs per cylinder. That's 16 plugs every time the manual says you're due for service. On an HD truck that's working for a living, that's twice the parts cost and maybe twice the labor. When you're running a fleet or just watching your own wallet, those Hemi extras add up fast. GM wins for long-term maintenance costs. Scorecard, L8T2, Hemi 0. Round 3, the transmission. This is where the L8T gets a reality check. The Hemi is paired with the ZF 8-speed. It has a first gear that makes the L8T paired with the 6L90 feel like it's stuck in the mud. But if we're comparing it to the new 10-speed, the one with the recalls, you know the one, I'd have to give the Hemi 2 points just for not being a liability. The ZF is simply a better transmission for a gas engine. Hey, the Hemi just tied it up. But this next round deals with that one engine sound that every Ram owner fears. Round 4, that's right, the Hemi Tick. It's a lubrication issue at idle. The L8T uses a crank-driven pump that has an electric solenoid on it. If it fails, it defaults to high pressure mode. If the Hemi starves at idle on a job site, you're looking at a cam and lifter job. Coming from 24 years at the dealership, I can tell you, that's a repair bill you don't want. GM wins on fail-safe engineering. Scorecard, L8T3, Hemi 2. Round 5, pressure. The L8T is direct injected, which allows it to run a higher 10.8 to 1 compression ratio. Because the fuel sprays at 2,000 plus PSI directly into the cylinder, it cools the charge and prevents knock before it even starts. The Hemi's port injection is stuck at 10.0 to 1. On a 110-degree Vegas day, towing a 14,000-pound trailer, the Hemi has to be reactive, pulling timing to save itself, while the L8T stays aggressive on 87 octane. Point to GM for keeping its cool under pressure. Scorecard, L8T4, Hemi 2. Final round, the rear end. Ram 2500s went to Coil Springs for that car-like ride. But many of you, towing heavy, prefer the simplicity of the GM leaf springs. If you're hauling big weight, you want that predictable stability. However, the Hemi has been around forever. Every tech knows them, and the parts are everywhere. The L8T is simpler, but some of those specialized fuel system parts can still be a waitlist item. It's a draw. Ram wins on parts availability. GM wins on pure towing stability. Scorecard, L8T5, Hemi 3. The L8T takes the win. The Ram drives better empty, but for a 200,000-mile roadmap, I'm taking the Chevy Anvil every time. But I want to hear from the high mileage club. Is your Hemi still ticking at 150,000 miles? Or has the L8T earned your respect on the job site? Drop your current mileage and your engine choice below. Let's help the next guy decide what's worth his hard-earned money. And I'll see you in the comments.